So, last week I asked you guys what your favorite location in Fortnite that has been removed is, and you responded. We got back a lot of responses, and today we're going to be looking at what you guys rank the worst and best removed locations. And actually, fun fact, to my amazement and possibly yours, it's not what you may expect. Now, real quickly, before we get into it, gfuel review. We're running a code this weekend only for 30% off gfuel, so use coupon code SMITH, top link in the description. We got Peach Mango, one of my favorites. It's delicious. Favorite flavor, probably 9 out of 10. Also, if you guys want to be involved in videos like this in the future, fill out the survey in the description after the end of this video, and yeah, let's do this. All right, so starting things off at number 16, this is the OG racetrack. The racetrack did not do so well. The racetrack got 473 votes for 1.4% of the total votes, which is not really surprising. The racetrack got removed at the start of Season 5, so there's actually quite a few people that have never even dropped at the racetrack. And I myself, and I'm sure a lot of you guys the same, like I started playing before Season 1 even started, and I probably only ever dropped there a handful of times, like maybe twice. That being said though, it wasn't a good spot. It was just a couple houses that happened to have a racetrack next to it. Despite all that, I do kind of have some nostalgia for this location. Late game matches going here were kind of fun because it was like kind of rolling hills. And I don't know, it's weird because it was such a bad spot, but it does give me a little bit of nostalgia in my heart. Anyways, moving on to our number 15 spot, this is going to be Flush Factory. Flush got 581 votes for 1.7% of the total. And I gotta say, well done guys. This was a really nicely chosen spot to be ranking low. I mean, I guess it was unchosen, but what I'm saying is you guys did good on this one. Flush Factory is a spot that there's like this very vocal minority that was sad when it got removed, and I just think the entire community was like, who cares? Flush was this garbage spot in the bottom poop corner of the map, and very few people ever went there. It was good for people that didn't want to get in engagements, but I mean, if you don't want to get in engagements, why are you playing Fortnite? Flush Factory sucks, and I don't miss it. Also, as a side note, can we all agree that Frosty Flights is the new Flush Factory? I mean, literally, like, that place without planes is beyond useless. Anyways, let's move on. Now, moving on to our number 14 spot, this is hilarious that it's topping out these bottom two. This is the open roof soccer stadium. The reason that this is so funny is that this was only in the game for about 2 weeks. A point of interest that didn't even exist for an entire season is getting outvoted by two of the OG locations of Fortnite. That's just very sad. The open soccer stadium got 617 votes. And honestly, while it was a good location, I was kind of sad that they removed those broken castles for this one. So, not only did they do that, they also just never added anything back. So I've always been kind of weirded out by this one. But yeah, the open soccer stadium actually comes out at a decent spot considering all. Okay, so moving on to 13. This is very interesting because it's the motel. The motel just got removed in Season 8, and there was a huge group of people saying, "Rip motel, oh, my favorite spot to drop, oh, I miss it so much." Apparently not. 988 votes for 2.9% doesn't really look good on the motel. I honestly like the motel for what it is. It's a good rotation spot. Like, I very rarely drop there unless it was a solo game or I needed a challenge. But if you just happen to maybe, I don't know, get a late drop and you land at junk, and you move here, or maybe it's late game, like, not a bad spot at all. It's a very underrated spot, and I actually think it's better than these next 3 locations. It's really weird. So between the 13th spot and the 10th spot, it's less than 50 votes difference. And moving on to our number 12 spot with only 13 more votes at 1,001 is the Container Yard. Motel is hands down better than the Container Yard. People actually used to drop here, and that blows my mind that you would drop here in more than a solo game and really just even by yourself. Bad loot, like just very few chests. The motels got more, I don't know why this is a love spot by some people. I really don't see this one. It's got decent location, but like it's pretty bad. Anyways, coming in at number 11 with only 8 more votes, this is Tomato Town. This little threesome here is actually like completely backwards, because I would say Tomato Town was even worse than the Container Yard, which was worse than the motel. Tomato Town was poop. You would get 1 to 2 chests in the tomato spot itself, no chests in the places adjacent to it, and then you just run over to those 2 houses, which might have like 2 chests each. Tomato Town was bad, and because it was a named location, you actually had quite a few number of people drop here. That to me, just like, if I was making this list, I would put Tomato Town second at the bottom, only better than the racetrack. Nothing good about this spot. And even Tomato Temple was not good. And anyways, to top out our number 10 spot with 1,031 votes, again, not even 50 more than the number 13 spot, is our old friend, the home of the Black Knight himself. This is Wailing Woods. Well, okay, I said this, but I might take it back. Wailing Woods is better than the motel. Wailing Woods was kind of like Dusty Divot V1. Not as good, but like it had its purpose. I like the bunker area. I thought that was really neat. I'm glad the bunker is still there. But I think at the end of the day, it wasn't a highly coveted spot. Like, you got wood, you got shield from mushrooms. Not bad loot. I don't know. I don't like the trees, I guess. I'm not even really sure what it is about Wailing Woods that I don't like, but I never loved this location. It used to be the 2 big tree spots was Moisty and Wailing Woods, and Moisty was way better, which, as the list shows, is correct. Anyways, let's move on. Coming in at number 9, this is the Broken Castle that I cannot seem to find any gameplay of. Seriously, I don't know what you call this spot. It was the place north of Wailing that the open roof soccer stadium replaced, and another like pretty decent spot. This was actually not one of the OG locations, but it was part of the first update that brought tilted towers and all the locations on the northeast, southwest side of the map. Broken Castle was good, kind of like the motel. Like, you could drop there by yourself or maybe with a teammate, rotate down to Pleasant Park after people have kind of done their fighting. And like, I really enjoyed this place. It was definitely one of the better unnamed locations in the game, and I really am sad that it got removed. The Broken Castle got 1,136 votes, and I think this was a fair spot for it. Definitely a respectable dropping location, and it came in at number 9. Now, at number 8, this is Lazy Links. To all my friends watching this video, Lazy sucks. Now, I don't hate Lazy Links, but I do think it deserves the award for the most overrated spot in Fortnite. Lazy just didn't have enough chests considering how many people went here. I don't know why it was so attractive to people, but it really got a lot of people going to it. I don't know. Lazy Links got 1,991 votes, so we're kind of stepping up here to the big leagues now. Which I guess makes sense. 5.9%, so there's obviously a big portion of people that liked Lazy Links, but again, I don't think it's deserving of being any higher than it really is. Actually, I would say that this is perfect, right in the middle. Like, it was a good spot and no better. Okay, but this is like some poetic karmic justice, I don't know. So let's move on. Because coming in at number 7, just outing it with 2,008 votes, is Anarchy Acres. That's really cool. I think that's so funny that these two are right beside each other, because Lazy Links obviously replaced Anarchy, and Anarchy still wins. And on top of that, Anarchy was a clone of Fatal Fields. So, yeah. Well, I think it's kind of funny that Anarchy Acres beat Lazy Links. Can I just comment who voted for Anarchy Acres? Anarchy Acres is Fatal Fields with less chests. There's nothing good to be said about Anarchy Acres. It was a complete copy of Fatal Fields. And people that say,
I miss Anarchy.
Like, what are you talking about? It's still in the game, just south. 2008 people are like, what? Really? I don't know how people could say I miss Anarchy Acres. Like, it's not still in the game. Grow up, okay? Grow up. Anyways, let's move on here. Number 6 spot. We're getting up here. This is your boy, Moistymire. Man, Moistymire, it's a cool spot. It's a cool spot. I didn't love Moistymire, but I respected Moistymire. Now, there's differentiation we gotta make, because there's two Moistymires. There was Season 4 Moisty, which was the film set. Cool. But honestly, I kind of preferred like the OG Moisty, just for nostalgic reasons. It was just this like spot that not many people went. This is where I used to practice my builds before Playground was a thing. I'd go to Moisty because it was very low key and just practice building. Get 99 wood, practice building, and just and do that for a while. Clearly, it didn't help, but still. Moistymire got 2,639 votes for 7.8% of the total. And this is to be expected. I mean, it was a named location from the original Fortnite map. A lot of people have a lot of nostalgia for this place, and I can definitely see it. Not a personal favorite of mine, but I respect it. Now, moving on to number 5, it's interesting how many like very close ones we have here. This is actually Dusty Depot. First of all, I just want to say I am so happy that it is not any higher than this. I would put Dusty Depot between Broken Castle at 9 and Wailing Woods at 10. Maybe even actually under Wailing Woods. The only thing that was good about Dusty was its location. Listen, Dusty Depot is not a good location. The only reason you like it is because of nostalgia. I don't understand why people like this spot. Like, you had OG factories next door with double the amount of chests. Why drop Dusty? Now, granted, I will admit it was a good place to rotate to after you hit the factory, after you hit retail, after you hit Salty. Or really, I guess even like if you landed Loot Lake. I mean, it was central, so it was good to rotate to and just pick up a few more items. I will give it that. But what I won't give it is that it was a good location on its own. Okay, the thing you understand is that each individual cargo warehouse thing had one chest in it max. There's only one place for a chest to spawn, right in the middle. That's not very good. Not very good at all. You get 1 to 2 loot drops on top, 2 more loot drops, I think, in each building, and then some in the middle by the chain link fences. And that was it. For a location with that little loot, I can't believe how many people dropped there and how many people liked it. It was good in the sense of, again, being a nice place to rotate to, absolutely. Which is why I don't think it was a terrible location. I just think it's way overhyped. Anyways, let's move on to a place that isn't overhyped. At number 4, we have the prison. Probably one of the best unnamed locations in Fortnite. The prison got 2,858 votes, and I respect this. 8.4% of the total votes. Prison was a pretty good spot. It didn't have the best location, but it worked in that time of Fortnite, I guess. The prison had fairly good loot, quite a few chests, but really my only issue with it is just that it was kind of out of the way. A lot of the time how I used to play prison is I would drop Moisty, farm up, and then run to the prison with my team, or we would even split up, let 2 people raid Moisty, 2 people raid prison. So it was like a very good combo location. And I think that's why it worked. I mean, it was great to drop there by yourself with a duo. 4 people did start to get a little bit hectic, a little bit slim on the loot, but I think prison was good. People have a lot of nostalgia for prison, rightfully so, because it was a pretty good location, but I will just check it and say, like it was good, but it wasn't the greatest location ever invented in Fortnite. And I would actually argue that number 4 is pretty valid for this location. Lazy, Anarchy, and Moisty might deserve to be higher than it, but I think prison getting 4 is a lot of nostalgia. Okay, now moving on to number 3. This is a great pick. Really happy with this. Risky Reels. One of like the best Fortnite locations, I really think. Or what I should say is one of the best odor-bound Fortnite locations. So Risky had more chests than Lazy Links. Just saying. Risky got 4,656 votes for 13.7% total. Heck yeah, I like that a lot. I don't like that the block removed Risky. That is kind of sad. But, you know, it was, like, I get it. It was time for it to go. I'm okay that it's gone, but I really do like this spot. It got traffic. For a place that far out of the way, it did get a lot of people going to it. So it was nice to land there, get a kill or 2, get that confidence going for the start of your game, loot up, and head to Lazy, down to Wailing, over to like Tomato Town for those noobs. Whatever. There's a lot of non-top tier spots on this list, and I would actually argue that I think Risky Reels really is truly one of like the top tier locations in Fortnite history. Now, we're down to our top 2. And I'm actually really happy about this. Because at number 2, we have what everyone was expecting to be number 1, OG Factory. Yeah, OG Factory is not the best location in Fortnite history. If you brought OG Factory back today, it would actually suck. If you put it exactly where it was, it wouldn't really be that. Well, that's a lie. It actually would still probably be really good because people still drop retail and salty and dusty like religiously. So for those of you that never played Fortnite before Season 4, here's why the OG Factory that was in the middle of the map was so good. It wasn't good because it was inherently good. It was good because it was good enough around 3 very popular locations: Dusty, Salty, and Retail Row. That is why OG Factory was good, is it was the best rotation spot. It was a very nice rotation because you drop there, I mean, you could manage it with a squad. I think there were a total of 7 to 8 chests at this location. So for a small, not like super popular location, that was quite good. And then from there, you choose where to go. Okay, there's a lot of action at Retail, a lot of action at Salty, a lot of action at Dusty. You go to one of those locations and you get a lot of kills. And even oftentimes you'd have another squad drop there, so you could get kills with that as well. But the thing is it wasn't so insanely hectic like Retail and Salty, where you drop in and if you don't get lucky off your first 4 loot, you die. It was great for streamers to kind of drop at a safe spot that would get them a lot of kills. And that's really why this place was so good. It was the rotation. I mean, it was right next to a bunch of trees. Right up beyond it, you had that like crazy shipping container thing. You had the grandma's house, which I guess is still there. It was just like a good location. That's all. I'm done reminiscing now. Let's move on. Coming in at Old Factory got 15.2% of the votes. And actually coming in at our number 1 spot, this also got 15.2% of the votes. Old Factory got 5,151. Our number 1 spot got 5,187. And rightfully so. I am really impressed with this pick from you guys. It was the right decision. Coming in at number 1 is Greasy Grove. Okay, I mean, you could sit here and talk about nostalgia, and it was a great rotate spot. But Greasy Grove was like a real spot. Like something that would still exist in the game and might still exist in the game. This wasn't just like a random motel off the side of the map that has a few chests. Like, no, this was a named, good, proper location. And that's what I'm saying. Like the top 3, maybe Moistymire, Anarchy, Lazy. These are kind of like the real spots. The spots that you can drop with a squad and walk out with actually like great loot, even if another squad lands there. Greasy Grove is a real deal. Like it's a real deal location, and it is quite sad that it's out of the game. It's gonna come back. I feel it, but Greasy Grove, as we know today, isn't really a thing. But yeah, I'm honestly impressed with the community for picking this one, and I'm happy because I really don't think OG Factory deserved number 1 just off of nostalgia, and I think it was very smart, very mature, very very wise that Greasy Grove came in at number 1. I agree 100%. Even as one of the old players of Fortnite that loved Factory, I can't argue that Greasy Grove is worse than Factory. Nah, Greasy all day. And anyways, that is going to be our video for today. Really quickly, I want to thank you guys. Big 2.5 million subscribers. We're a quarter of the way there. Quarter of the way to 10 million. That is really exciting. So thank you guys very much for that. That is all I have to say. So I'll talk to you later. Peace out, all you freaking nerds. That's it. Bye.